What's good, TGG fans? Today we will be going with the best lineups on Split for the newest agent in the game, Fade. Being released not too long ago in episode 4 act 3, everyone is still figuring out all the best Fade lineups. But without further ado, let's dive right into our list of the best Fade lineups on Split. The verticality on Split is exactly what makes Fade so deadly on there, and any agent designed around scouting out enemies is bound to do well. This is because the map is built around controlling the middle area, not the spike sites. This means it's easy to scout out rotating enemies around mid with your haunt. Starting with the best attacking lineups of Fade, we will begin with A site. This haunt lineup is best used at the beginning of a round and it will spot enemies in A site and A heaven. Stand in the corner at the top of the stairs on the right in A lobby. Aim into the corner of the upper grey trim of the wall in front of you, just as you can see that we have, and jump throw your haunt ability. Good thing about this lineup is you do not have to be super accurate, you just want to be quick, before your inting teammates push. The haunt will also scout out enemies in A hell and some of A screens. Our second lineup of the video will require minimal movement. You'll once again stand at the top of A stairs, but this time in the middle. This is a key haunt lineup to have in your pocket, as it means you can alternate which of the two lineups you use, meaning your enemies cannot pre-fire your haunt. You'll then want to aim just to the right of the billboard in the distance. You'll be performing a running jump throw, so your crosshairs start in the white square and end in the top brown square when you throw the haunt. You'll get vision of enemies all over A site and A back with this haunt, as it will land on the box in A site. The intel you gather will be enough to figure out if you can rotate or force a push. Moving over to B site now, this haunt lineup will start from mid. We told you that Split is controlled and run through mid, so this lineup will help you do exactly that. Before you begin, make sure mid vent is clear so you don't get caught out in the open. You need to be next to the box in mid top and ready to throw into mid mail. This is by far the simplest lineup in the guide, as the haunt bounces off the wall you aim at. That wall is the dark grey one at the top of mid mail, which you want to aim near the top of. The haunt should land in B tower. There's no need to overcomplicate lineups, so this lineup is kept very simple. For our second B site haunt lineup, you'll be able to reveal enemies lurking in B tower and on B rafters. In B lobby, stand just behind these two metal sheets, anywhere will do. You see the satellite dish in front of you? Aim halfway up the left hand side of it. It'll force enemy agents to change their crosshair position to shoot it, regardless of where they are. Complete the lineup by running, jumping and throwing before you hit the metal sheets. Enemy agents will be revealed and located consistently, and if you use this lineup as your team are pushing onto B site, you will see the most value. This is because enemies have to choose between shooting your haunt or shooting your team, so hang back. If you want to learn lineups, Split is one of the best maps for it, as other agents can massively utilise lineups on Split. Luckily, we have Split lineup guides for numerous other agents. These include Viper, Raze, KO, Killjoy, Sova, Phoenix and Brimstone. Before we go any further with the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, as well as leaving a comment down below on how many of these Fade Split lineups you knew. Moving on to defensive side lineups, we will start with an A site haunt which watches A main and A lobby. You'll start just below the top of A ramps in the middle of the ramp and aim. You'll have a small gap between the walls when looking towards A lobby. This is a haunt lineup designed for the beginning of the round, so we would recommend to use it as one. The small gap means that you are a very safe Fade and enemy agents will not get to you in time to spray you with bullets. On the right wall of the two, there is a wooden trim around the top. Aim at the bottom left of it and fire. The haunt will spot any enemies in A lobby or A main, as it will land on the roof between the two. This lineup is a very good one to use, as it means you don't have to peek to scout out enemies. If you're playing on A site itself, your haunt can still be used to watch the same area. The stairs on A site is where you will position yourself against the wall. There is multiple grey panels on the wall in front of you. The one you want is a smaller diagonal one. The top right corner is where you will aim when you jump shot the haunt. The haunt will gather intel from the same areas as the previous lineup, as it will watch the same areas. This means that you will guarantee being able to tell if any attackers are pushing from A lobby and A main, regardless of where you position yourself on A site. Continuing with A site lineups, we have a 2-for-1 deal. We've got two C's lineups that are easy to execute. You want to begin in A heaven and stand on the right hand side of the window. Similarly to the previous haunt lineup, you want to make a small gap between the walls so you can throw your C's into A back and force enemy agents to stop holding it. The second lineup has you slightly more exposed. Step left and aim above the pillar with a green shrubbery on it. You will tether enemy agents on this part of A site, as a common plant position is behind the massive pillar where the C's land. The first lineup is a lot safer than the second, as you barely have to expose yourself to enemy agents lurking in B back, but only forces enemies around the corner onto A site. The second lineup is far more effective, especially if the enemy agents are planting behind the massive pillar in which B back encompasses. Rounding off the lineup guide, this lineup will be using Fade's haunt ability again, and it will watch B main. Start by standing on B rafters, just out of the entryway to B tower / heaven. Line yourself up with a wall to your left. You should be able to see two green signs in front of you. you need to aim in the middle of the pair down the left hand side. Watch us do it if you're struggling. You can see the sky behind as a blue triangle to make it easier. Step forward and throw the horn. If you smash the lineup, the horn should land near the metal sheets we mentioned earlier on the boxes in B lobby near the entrance to B main. Make sure to use it immediately at the beginning of a round to scout out any pushing enemy agents through B lobby and B main. If you want more Fade lineups, we have lineup guides for those too, with every map in the game already covered. These include Fracture, Bind, Haven, Icebox, Ascent and Breeze. For now, that's a wrap for Fade split lineups. If you have any more, leave them in the comments and we'll see you next time.